Hi everybody, and welcome once again to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with my weekly show, Goth Tarot. And of course it is a look into the shadow sides of our lives. And I do this by going through a more or less collective community read for our community. And I use the tarot decks that are mostly associated with maybe more Gothic or emo kind of themed images. So I start off with the Santa Muerte Tarot. Lovely deck. And it's one of the low Scarabeo decks, and I use a number of those, but the reading is composed around 7 points on a mystic Solomon's triangle, which has the 6 points of the star and then 1 in the center, making 7. So we're going to get started with that. And our first point is called the Dark Design. It is meant to represent the overall general focus at this time. That's the reversed King of Swords. So it's easy to see that there's maybe a situation right now where there are possible legal or strong, decisive kind of actions going on. Maybe literally, in some cases, the fate of the world is at stake. And for those concerned, it may certainly feel that way. But the King of Swords represents an opportunity to find where your resources are the strongest and try to fight back against bad judgments or decisions. This could pertain to a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily pertain to your professional life or your personal life or anything else, but it could be a little bit of all of those too. So then, as if that wasn't bad enough, our next position is the dark drama, and this is the influences on people around you. And these people could be people you know, but not necessarily are friends or family. And so that card is the reversed Page of Wands. And so I could say that the influences of those around you, they're maybe trying to dissuade you from projects you're on, or they're implying that there are bad outcomes for you. They're negative behavior, basically. They're not people who necessarily have your back. They're not people who are your friends or the people you normally would consult with, but they are people who maybe feel they have an interest in interfering in your life in some manner, or trying to direct your life to what they think, is appropriate. Okay, so then the Dark Destiny. the way things look to be going, the most potential likely future that it seems to be showing. It's the High Priestess reversed. So the dark destiny maybe is indicating that you won't really have a strong intuitive feel for which way to go. You may feel that to some degree precision thinking or insights or hunches are just not working out for you. It's also possible that you feel that maybe information or knowledge is specifically being restricted from you in some manner, and that it's harder to find the answers you need to cope with the situation. So if this involves professionals or authorities of some sort, uh, I could almost feel like maybe there's some, not friend, but maybe somebody you know who is sort of working against you, and they may be actually trying to prevent you from, or they're in a situation where you are prevented from knowing what your best strategies or maneuvers might be. So that is the first triangle of our Mystic Seven. I'm going to put the Santa Muerte cards over here. And so now we move on to the next position, which starts our descending triangle. And the card that goes here is from a different deck called the Goth Tarot. It's also by Lo Scarabeo. Lo Scarabeo, if you don't know, is sort of a subsidiary or related company to Llewellyn. So a lot of times they have the Llewellyn imprimatur, but they're mostly European based, and they have a lot of different artists that have different styles that are maybe less Western oriented. Over many years now, they've done some really beautiful cards. So I use the Goth Tarot for this next position, which I call the Dark Shadows. So despite everything going on here, or in spite of, what else could still be haunting you? What things are embedded in your life, possessing you, or unable to escape from them, like a bad spirit that can't be banished? These things are not necessarily real ghosts or spirits, but I use the motif along with the Goth Tarot to indicate these feelings or these things, and also the possibility that as the people we are, goth types, maybe we are in tune a little bit with spirits that are around us, and not always in a good way. So, the dark shadows, what is haunting us? It's the reversed Eight of Wands. So it's the reversed Eight of Wands. What haunts us is we're not able to find our mark. We're not able to activate, to motivate. We're not able to find speed or energy and pursue the mark. A lot of times I feel when this card is upright, the Eight of Wands, it's about speed and energy, but it's about moving towards a target of some sort. And so, like I said here, with the possibility that information is hard for us to find or is being kept from us, being manipulated by others, I'm also feeling too that within ourselves, we have these feelings that we can't succeed, that we don't have any energy, that we're not sure where the target or where we should be focusing is. And so this is really what haunts us, is that we are inconfident of our own abilities and we only see the negative parts of our abilities. And so we need to learn how to exercise that from our lives. So now I want to focus on the next point, number 5, the dark truth. And for that, I'm going to use the Night Sun Tarot. And the Night Sun Tarot is in fact drawn by Fabio Listani, who is the artist of the Santa Muerte Tarot, so I find that very pleasing. And I've also used this in a couple of the other decks in my previous versions of Goth Tarot, but I'll be honest, I'm really kind of digging on this current reading here with its shadow work at the end. So unless I hear otherwise, I plan on doing this for a while. But back to the dark truth. What is the reality that we must accept, even if we don't feel it's good for us, true for us, or really a reality that we agree with, yet somehow we are forced to accept it. Maybe it's imposed on us, or maybe it's something that so many other people believe in that it's hard for us to go against that. So what is the dark truth? The dark truth is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's upright. And the dark truth may be that in this particular matter here, it's all a matter of fate to some degree, and that right now you may have as many opportunities as you can to really try to work with what's going on here, to reverse some of these qualities, to find your inspiration and your confidence, to find a way to fight back against the people who are influencing others or influencing you in negative ways, also chipping away at your confidence. You can move forward, but you have to find a way to take care of yourself and listen to your own inner wisdom. Your inner wisdom is the way to move forward. All right, so because this is tarot and I am Oberon, I wouldn't want to do this reading without the next card. And so from my relatively newer deck, the Black Tarot, I give you the Dark Twist. The Dark Twist falling there. What unexpected thing might happen that either indicates a destiny, even beyond the Wheel of Fortune destiny perhaps, that could change things, or that could just throw some significant twist into the matter. I have a table that shakes. I think this has happened before. But we get another king, another reverse king. It's not the King of Swords like we started off with. The dark twist is the reversed King of Wands. And right away, what this tells me is the dark twist says sometimes people have great charisma and magnetism, and sometimes they don't have that, but sometimes other people have an anti or alternative or dark charisma, one that's sort of based around principles that could be unifying, magnetizing, but really somehow seem dark in nature. You know, they talk about, you know, women who like the bad boy, or people who are drawn to negative personalities because there's something sexy or seductive about them. So I suggest to you that maybe this is where you employ your own dark charisma and supply the dark twist, or certainly be looking for that. Be looking for what the dark twist is, the kind of interesting magnetic personality or situation that could somehow twist all this around and make you find your confidence, make you realize some of the goals that you feel are being mucked with by other people. All right. So now I want to wrap this up with our final card in the center there of our mystic triangle. It's the Dark Gift. And I take that from the Crow's Magic Tarot, which I've used here before. The Dark Gift. What are those insights or hunches, those abilities, those things you have that maybe not everybody has, or not exactly the same way? What are those things that really are your gift and can also be helpful? Beyond maybe how the twist can help you, or the twist you need to watch for, what is your actual gifts to help you here? The Reverse Tower. Ugh, that's kind of weird. The Reversed Tower, your dark gift could be that you have to keep going through this process until you really do learn the lesson, that maybe so much of this are things that you have faced before in your life, and yet somehow you're still not learning the lesson. And so the dark gift says you're going to get more opportunities to learn this lesson. It's probably because you keep patterns going on here. So if you're able to break these patterns, to break the pattern of the tower, you may be able to move on here. But right now, it's kind of weird. It suggests to me that the dark gift is about you having to repeat these patterns. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But now we want to do our shadow work and affirmation, and I take that from the Earth and Bone Oracle set. I'm also showing that there. And it's a wonderful set of oracle cards by Syrian Shadow. It's produced under that name, Syrian Shadow. And I think it correlates very well with this reading, and certainly with some of the decks here, especially the Santa Muerte. So I'm just going to shuffle them up and give us our shadow work and affirmation, especially in light of the reading. And you know, I've been using this now for several weeks, and I think it really does shed light on what the reading is. So let's take a look at that. From Earth and Bone, what is our shadow work? Ooh. It's the Blood Moon. It says illusion, uncertainty, confusion, secrets, egotism, reflection, or reinvention. So that's interesting, because some of these cards did talk about things that are maybe illusionary, the concepts we hold about ourselves, or the way we let other people gaslight us, as they say. Narcissism, that's what it was, not reflection, it's narcissism. Be acutely aware of where you send your energy. Be mindful of false idols. You receive nothing from them in exchange for your energy and devotion. You will not reap any benefit or reward from this type of exchange. You may need to take control of your thoughts and redirect your energy to who or what is capable of reciprocating. Start by practicing daily affirmations of self-love. Realize that not everyone will return the good that you send out. Be mindful of those of who and what you interact with on the earth and the spiritual planes. Your subconscious may be leading you down a path of little or no return, causing you to be stagnant. You may benefit from spending less time consuming pop culture or entertainment. Well, that's something I always say, my Oberonificant aside. And move into alignment by spending more time working on self-development. Another aside, I very need to do this myself. I'm not condescending to you. I need to do this too. Spirit says, by redirecting your thoughts and energy to the appropriate channels that are capable of returning positive energy like love and gratitude, you will open yourself up to receive more of the same. All right, I like that. So let's give the affirmation then. I am whole and do not need to chase anything or anyone in order to be complete. I recognize the power in who I am. And you know, it was kind of like that. You know, there's these things going on that are making us deny parts of ourselves or see parts of ourselves differently. We have to see who we are ultimately. We just have to do that this is but a moment in time. Fate is spinning around us. So take to heart the affirmation, and I'll see you next time at Goth Tarot. I hope you have a good week.